All right, today I'm going to take you through a speed run of how to find your first product to sell on Amazon quickly and easily. I don't want this to be a long-winded video, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do it very quickly, and I'm going to show you using a program, using a piece of software called Helium 10, because it's really going to help you, especially if you're a beginner. So first step, you need to know before you find before you find a product to sell, you need to know what a good product is. So in my opinion, a good product to sell is a product that solves a problem, a product that improves the world, even if it's by a tiniest amount, product that works as intended. Don't sell crappy quality products. And for private label, don't compete against big brands, okay? So one product, for instance, I'm going to show you as an example, is this one here. Now, this is a resistance band set, okay? It's a product that solves a problem. I actually sold this product during COVID. The problem it solved was that people couldn't work out in gyms because of the lockdown in COVID, so I sold this as sort of like a home fitness thing. It sold really well. It solved a problem, okay? If we go back here, it improves the world. It works as intended, so people are getting a lot of good use out of it. This isn't my listing, by the way. I just sold basically the same product. Okay, and now for this instance, you don't want to compete against big brands. So you don't want to compete against Nike or really big brands. Now for this instance, I wouldn't sell this in particular because it's got 34,000 reviews already. This seller's been on this for years and years, so I wouldn't compete against that, okay? But that's something to take note of. Now another product that you could sell, potentially, I'm not saying to sell this, but this is one that you could look at, is this here. This is a cable management tray. Okay, they're doing quite good sales. They have really low ratings. It solves a problem, right? And it does make the world better. It's a cable management tray usually for your computer, and it makes things a lot better, a lot easier for you. So this doesn't have as many ratings as this, so it's another good one to sell. So you need to know what a good product is. Step 2, you need to know where to look. So 3 places that I would get started on is Amazon bestsellers, Amazon movers and shakers, and the Amazon search bar, which I'll show you right now. So the Amazon bestsellers is this one here. If you go to amazon.com.au, this is in the bestsellers. Now, just for some like a reference, some examples of what you can look at for good categories, because I get asked this a lot. You can go to baby, beauty, you go to computers, electronics, kitchen and dining, home improvements, another good one, home, and sports, fitness, and outdoors, and pet supplies is another one. So we'll go to maybe sports, fitness, and outdoors and just have a look. So the best sellers is a good place to start. You also have, if we go back, you also have movers and shakers. Now, what movers and shakers is, they're the products that have sold the most or had the highest volume of sales, the highest growth in the last 24 hours. So you could even go movers and shakers and then go back to sports, fitness, and outdoors and then have a look at what is moving the fastest in the last 24 hours in the fitness category, right? And you can do this for all those categories that I mentioned, okay? Now, another thing you can do is you can actually go to the search bar here, make sure that it's on all, go to the search bar and do the search bar method. And what I mean by that is you just go by the alphabet. So you go A, B, C. So this is exactly what I mean. Go A. And what this does is it's showing you the most relevant keywords, the high search keywords for that letter. So you've got A, then after A, you do AB. Okay, so you've got, okay, ab roller. Okay, and then AC. Okay, or you can even do AA. You start off with that, right? And it's just showing you AD. It's showing you all the different products that have been searched the most. Okay, and you can do the same. You can do the same with B. B. Okay, body wash, baby wipes. Okay, backpack. Then you've got BA, right? And then you've got BB, like that, barbecue, okay? And you can just do the exact same thing with every single letter, and this will really help you get really good ideas for what is selling, what's really popular on Amazon, okay? And this works for the Aussie market, which is what I'm on. It works for the US market, every market, right? So they're the ways that I would suggest you to go, on how to know what to look for. Step 3, what I would highly recommend is getting a software that shows you actual sales numbers. So this helps you to not just go by what looks good, you want to go by what's actually selling. And the way to actually know what numbers are doing, you need to actually have a software that tells you that. Okay, I don't recommend, and this is what a lot of people do, they just want to buy a product because it looks good and it's something that they'd buy. Okay, oh, I'd buy this, so why not sell it? It doesn't work like that. You need to go by sales data, not emotions, right? So product, I would suggest a product price between $25 and $75. The top 2 to 5 sellers of that product would share the majority of sales. You don't want to go for something where it's just one seller or one big brand dominating the whole lot of sales and getting that big chunk of the pie, because you're not going to be able to compete. Other sellers haven't been able to do it, so you won't be able to come in as a new seller. If 2 to 5 sellers are sharing that pie and sharing the sales, then you can jump in as a seller, even as a new seller, and get a share of that as well, right? Don't compete with big brands, okay? I recommend personally using Helium 10 because it works for the AU market. It works very accurately for the AU market. It's one of the most accurate for the AU market that I've seen, and one of the only softwares that works for the AU market from what I've seen. So let's just say if we go back to this here, okay, cool, this looks like a good product to sell, but let's actually have a look at the sales data. Right, so if we go to Helium 10, the Chrome extension, by the way, link down, it's down below for this if you want to download this. Works really, really well. It's just a month-by-month thing. If you want to pay for 1 month to use it, do that. So if you hit the Chrome extension, go to X-Ray, this is going to actually show us the sales. It's going to show us the sales numbers and accurate sales numbers. These aren't just made up. Okay, this actually integrates with Amazon's website. So we know that this product here is selling, they're selling almost 300 units a month of this, okay, almost doing $10,000 in revenue, and it's got quite low reviews, which is why I like the look of it. Okay, so that's the things to note. I would highly suggest to get Helium 10 because you can also, these numbers that I was talking about here, you can plug these into Helium 10 using a tool on Helium 10 called Blackbox, and you can just literally search for whatever numbers you want. Whether you want a certain revenue to look at, whether you want certain reviews, if you only want to look at products that have under 100 reviews or whatever it may be, you can use Helium 10 to do that. It's very, very helpful, okay? So step 4, you also need a product that fits your budget. Now, not a lot of people talk about this. So this is something you need to consider. If the top sellers are selling 100 units a month, so for this product, let's just say this one here, they're selling 100 units a month, what you need to think of is, can you afford 100 units, right? Can you afford 100 units for maybe the first month or two? Do you have enough investment capital to compete with that? If they're selling 100 units a month, you can only afford to send in 50 units to Amazon, then it's going to be hard for you to compete because you just don't have as many units, you can't make as many sales, which means you can't rank your product as high. So it's okay to start with less, but it just means that you're going to take longer to grow your momentum. If you want to start with 500 bucks, you can, but you just are going to have to compete with sellers who are selling that amount of units. You can't compete with these guys. If you can't afford 100 units, then you can't compete with 50 units. Just is not how it works, right? The other thing is you don't have to invest 5 to 10 grand just because someone on YouTube told you to. You can start with an amount that's comfortable, okay? Usually I'd suggest around 1,500 bucks, right? But I've had sellers that have started with $500 and they've grown to upwards of 130K in sales a year. It just takes longer to grow. Obviously, if you have 5 to 10,000 that you don't care about investing in and it's not really going to matter to you, then yes, you're going to grow those sales a lot faster because you have a lot more momentum to start with, right? But take this product, for instance, if we go back to Helium 10, okay, and you're looking at selling this product, they sell almost 300 units a month. So you got to think to yourself, when you go and source this product from a place like Alibaba, are you going to have enough capital to buy at least 300 to maybe 600 units of this to last you a month or two, right? You got to think about that. If you can't, then that's okay. You just need to go for a product that you can afford, right? So last thing here, put in the reps, okay? So when it comes to product research, it's one of the hardest parts of selling on Amazon, any online e-commerce business, right? But the more that you look at products, the more you'll be able to get a better eye for what works. I've been looking at products to sell online for the past 6 or 7 years, so I've got quite a good idea of what works just by looking at it, okay? Even before looking at the numbers, you've usually got a good idea of what works and what doesn't, okay? Now, another thing you can do as well, apart from just doing this on your own, I do actually have a completely free starter pack that you can try, and it's just down below. You go to the first link down below. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no upsells or anything. It's just a free starter pack that gets you basically learning exactly, how to use Helium 10, how to find the right products, and really all about what Amazon FBA is, especially here for the Aussie market. So this is more of an in-depth tutorial, completely free. If you do want access to that, that is really going to help you understand that. But this is how I would go about finding your first product to sell on Amazon quickly and easily. And really, it's all about, again, putting in the reps and really knowing where to look, knowing how to start doing it properly. Because then once you start doing it, especially with a product like or software like Helium 10, you start doing it properly, it's going to become so much easier down the road.